welcome to We Don't Know Things. What episode
Welcome.
is this?
I think this is actually 22.
Okay, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, because
The
KP
double
was
dose.
20, and then we had one 2 weeks ago. So this would
Yep.
make 22.
2 and 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was so
Awesome.
good to see you
I know this was
in the flesh.
in the flesh.
Your hair looks fabulous today, by the way.
Thank you. I got it cut yesterday and styled.
It's so cute. The layers.
The layers. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yes, it's lovely. Leave it just like that. I love it.
Thank you.
You're moving on up in the world.
I know. At least I try to look like I am. I may be rolling down a fucking hill, about ready to careen into a big ass river of rocks, but at least I'm gonna look good doing it.
That's all that matters. I mean, hey,
all right,
beauty is pain.
Right, beauty. It is. But yeah, it was so nice to see you guys. I mean, again, it's just, oh my God, I can't believe you guys moved in 15. I mean, Jesus, it's been 9 years since we saw each other, which is just stupid because we live like 5 hours away from each other.
Right.
I'm like, what the fuck have we both been doing?
And we pass through there every summer.
Every summer. I know. I can't. And I'm so, I wasn't upset. Like with the hurricane remnants coming through and the flooding of your car lot there at like you guys got in late, so you were going to stay with me. And I was so excited to have you guys over and just hang out at my house. But next time.
Well, and at the pool party, for the viewers that the viewer that doesn't know this,
yes,
like the party was great. It was a sunny day, no rain expected, then torrential downpour.
Oh, really?
Yes. So everybody had to hunker down under this big tent we had built, and I mean, there was so much rain so fast that everybody's feet were just in water under the tent. That's how much rain there was just in a little bit of time. And then it took like a good hour and a half, and then it cleared up, and then everybody got in the pool. And I told Jason, I said, I think, in my opinion, the rain kind of brought everyone together because nobody was really swimming. A lot of people were dispersed in their own little like side conversations. Yeah. But we all had to go under one tent. And then after that, it like opened more conversation, and it ended up being like a really good time. But it was mad raining. Like,
how many people show up to your?
I mean, I didn't do it like an actual head count or anything, but I would say on and off, probably around 50 total. So not bad.
Not bad. I mean, that's quite a bit.
That's kind of where we stay each year. It's like between 40 and 50 people, which is good because if it was bigger than that, I mean, it would be too much to kind of maintain.
Yeah,
we had a great time.
Yeah, you need to start charging admission if it gets any larger.
Well, and just the food in general,
yeah,
like, it would be more expensive. I think next year we're going to go back to actually grilling burgers, brats, and hot dogs, because right now we're getting it catered because it's so much easier to deal with. But a lot of people don't like fried chicken. I can't like fried chicken. So it's been easier on my aunt because she pays for all of that. Like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, just out of her pocket. We always offer to help pay for it, but she always tells us it's not needed. So last year was the first year we catered, instead of doing grilling food and stuff like that. But it's so much work on her neighbor. Jeff usually does all of it. So we don't want him to have to go back to that, but we do want burgers and brats and hot dogs again. So we're going to do it next year. Jason and I and my brother offered to help to do it too. So we don't have to make her neighbor sit out there and do it all damn day, because that takes a long time to make all that stuff.
My brothers, they like grilling and smoking meat. And so for my mom's 70th birthday, they made 21 pounds of meat.
Oh my God.
It was a lot. It was good because there was so much leftovers. I had lunch for like a week. But they used the smokers, and the smokers is a lot of times you just put it on there and leave it. So there's not a lot of attending to it, which is kind of nice for them because we had quite a larger group of people, but like they had a brisket that they smoked for 21 hours. So it was just like
Wow.
on and you walk away from it. I mean, you got to check it every now and then.
Right.
It's like, it's literally like jiggle the fucking wood pellets, add more, put on some sauce, and walk
Right.
in and watch another movie, for 2.5, 3 hours, watch Oppenheimer, come back out,
Right. Right. Yeah.
like that's so. But yeah, the grilling part, like when you have that many people, can definitely be a lot. I mean, it's just a lot of time. So, and then of course you always have to do it to where, like, unless you have 5 girls going, it's like people are going to eat in groups because you can't put 50 hot dogs or 50 hamburgers on the grill at once. But, I mean, which I think is fine because I think with that large group of people, that typically happens, right? Like you have like
people eat in stages.
Yeah, exactly. But
the other thing is storing it all. Like that's why we stopped. One of the reasons is because a lot of people don't RSVP, and I tell them, I remind them, I usually send the invite out almost a year in advance. People don't RSVP, so we never have like a kind of a head count of how much we need. Yeah. So my aunt always ends up buying a lot more than
a shit ton more. Yeah. My mom is the same way.
Yeah. Like he always cooked so much that we never ate it all. So we'd be sending stuff home with people and trying to find places to store it after it's been cooked. It's just like, it's crazy. So that's why we kind of switched to that. But I think we're going to go back because, and that's also like compared to fried chicken out in the humidity and stuff, hot dogs and all that, like they can stay out like on, trays and still be pretty decent for like a couple hours, but like fried chicken, not.
It always ends up like, it doesn't matter where you store it or where it's situated. It always ends up getting soggy.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing. Yeah.
It is.
You gotta re-air fry it to pop it back to life again.
Right.
Because, like it's just, it gets soggy. But well, that's cool that you guys, how long have you guys been doing that? The reunion?
Oh Lord. The reason that we started it was because my Aunt Madonna and I, we hate winter. We hate it. And I refuse to drive down there anymore in the winter by myself. Jason couldn't because of retail. I did go one year and then I said never again because it was so awful coming back during a winter, like blizzard basically.
Right.
But I mean, one year I just sent her a message and I was like, what do you think about doing an annual summer where gifts aren't allowed?
Yeah.
Like, because I hate that about all the holidays. Everybody thinks they have to buy a gift. And so that was one of the things that I said, if we're going to do a summer party, gifts are not allowed. None of that crap. I don't want it. I want people to be there to enjoy each other. So I think it's been, God, I want to say like 15 years, maybe longer than that, because I wanted that. I like the summer more than winter and I don't like to travel. So I can't go see my family in the winter. So
well, and it kind of makes sense if you have that many people. Do you want to be stuck inside the fucking house with those jokers the entire time?
And they still do it. They still do it, but I never go because I can't handle the drive. And if I can't have Jason with me, I'm not doing it. I just can't. My anxiety is too high when I don't like driving. So but it's been a long time.
You don't like driving, but you drove the whole way back.
I know. And when we got back, Jason was like, I'm sorry, I didn't contribute at all. And I was like, I know.
Yeah, I know. It was not missed on me because my ass was behind the wheel until we pulled into the parking spot.
Right.
Hey, I appreciate you acknowledging that you totally fucked off this entire
right. He slept almost the entire time.
Right, as if I wasn't there.
Right, yeah. And then at one point I said, can we please stop in Fort Wayne? Because I needed the break from Indy to Fort Wayne. Yeah. And he's like, oh, I don't want to stop. Can we not? I'm like, are you fucking serious right now? But we didn't stop. So
you guys just cracked me up though on this whole trip.
Hate it.
Like I could have been I could have been
I
from here
know.
to Denver in the same time it took
I
you
know.
guys.
No, Jolie's the same way. She's like, she'll stop to pee and that's it. We stop, we have dinner, we stop
Oh
and we have
God,
lunch,
I
like all
can't
that.
handle that.
Well,
I
trust me, I
cannot
wanted to
handle
be
that.
there, but if I don't stop, I'm ready to like blow my car up. Just like I hate being on the road and no. And it's so boring from Fort Wayne to I'm sorry, from Indy to Fort Wayne is awful. And then from Fort Wayne to Detroit is terrible. You have to go through Defiance and Napoleon. There is nothing out there. You're literally just driving through fields. And then the way like the biggest stretch from Evansville to Bloomington. I
Mhm.
can't remember how long it is. I think it's an hour and a half where there's not even like a rest stop or a gas station.
Yeah.
So you have to know that you better pee before you take that because there is nowhere to stop.
And it's so weird that they built 69 like that, the way that they
I know.
ended up doing that, because there was plenty of rest stops when it was the old
I know.
37 and the old way
I
down.
know.
Like, I don't understand why they took out as many of those, because I have family in Bedford. So you have to
Okay.
get off of
Yeah, yeah.
69 and take old 37 down. Well, when you
Right.
come back, the signage of, hey, stay here to go 69 north or go 69 south, it's a little confusing at first. And so I ended up in the 69 south and I was like, God damn
Right.
it.
And
Well,
then once you get on, you can't get off.
I figured, I was like, okay, I'm going to be on the road for about 15 minutes probably before I get to some type of exit. No, it was like a full half hour. I'm like, what in
Yeah.
the hell is this? What dumb shit planned this one that
Right.
they're
There's
really
nothing.
not one. Like, I was
Yeah.
really shocked by that. I was really shocked
Me
by
too.
that.
It's kind of
So
like
I never made
it
that
drives
mistake
my
again.
anxiety up when I'm getting on that stretch because I
I
know
can
I'm
only
stuck on
imagine.
this.
Yeah. Well, at least you guys made it back safe and sound.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the weather was great, thankfully.
Mhm.
Normally, either on the way down or on the way back, it's bad. I mean, on the way down, it got a little rough because of that hurricane remnants. But on the way back, it was nice, and it got kind of cloudy in Indianapolis for a little bit, but which it kind of helped because too much sun is like it burns your eyeballs out when you're just driving all day.
Okay, it does.
Yeah,
How was
so
your week back at work? Great
um,
times.
right. Well, I was actually shocked because when I got back to work, I mean, I had a lot to catch up on, but so I maintain our company inbox. So I'm in there all day, every day, assigning things, taking care of things, and all that. So I figured when I come back, it's just going to be a mess. No, it was fine. I think there were 5 emails.
Really?
Yeah, and they're just pending items that they've already addressed. So I didn't have to deal with any of that. I have a lot
Nice.
of my own tasks to catch up on,
Right.
but yeah, I didn't come back to a disaster. It was really great. I'm so thankful for that. So
That's nice, because normally I always find when I leave, no matter how much planning and preparation I do, I return and there's always like some fire
right,
to
or
put out,
5,000 of them.
or 5,000 of them. Yeah. And I've kind of gotten to this point, especially with work, that like when you're in a group and you're trying to make a decision, I want to say I don't care, but and it, right, like, because of the connotation and the way it sounds like this is above or below me. I don't want to take my time on it. I'm more important than whatever we're talking about. Like, that's kind of like the air that comes off of the whole I don't care, which
Right.
it's not bad. It's more or less like I don't have a dog in this fight. There's
Right.
nothing about this current situation that I feel one way or the other on it.
Mhm.
But I'm struggling to find a way without having it a long diatribe of like, just make a decision and tell me what you want to do. Like,
Right.
if the decision ends up being very burdensome on me, then I'll say something. But until I have additional information, like normally there's so much anymore that I'm just like, I really don't care. Just make a decision, tell me what you want done, and I'll get it done. Like,
Right.
because I just think over my career, there has been so many times, and because I want to do things well, I want to do things right, that I spend a lot of time really considering what the problem is, what the best solution is for the best outcome. And then when you unveil it, a lot of the times, people shit all over it, but yet they don't bring any alternative to the table. That's one of my favorite times. I'm like, oh, really, Bob? You don't fucking like this? Well, what's your idea? Oh, you don't have one? Oh, well, that's great. Shut the fuck up. Like, if I'm fine if you don't like it, but bring a solution to the table.
Right.
Don't just take a shit on it and walk out the door. Like, that's not helpful. And so I think a lot of that versus you put something into place and then you don't have enough people or the right people that buy into it that help manage it, not manage it, but help
bring it to fruition,
reinforce it.
Oh yeah.
This is the way we're doing it, then it just ends up falling apart again. And I'm just like, well, why did I spend, X amount of time on this when the rest of you clearly don't care because your actions have shown that. And so I've just kind of gotten to this point where I don't feel passionately about many things at work. And again, it's not because I don't care. It's just, unless somebody else feels incredible, like if you feel passionately about it, then to me, it's your responsibility to figure out a solution.
Yeah.
I'm happy to execute on it for you. You just tell me what you want, but ultimately you're going to be responsible for it. So I'm trying to deal with that, like find a better way of saying, just make a decision. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's, it includes a go-go dancer. I don't care. It's totally fine. Like, you just tell me what you want. Just tell me. And so we kind of had a restructuring at work with our whole HR team. And now I'm far much more in the loop on that than what I ever was before. And HR is always, oh God, I don't even know where to begin with it. Like, I don't know how it became such this nebulous thing at companies. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like its huge own department. And other than like hiring people and asking and doing like help manage performance reviews by providing a system or a form to fill out and maybe answer a benefit question, like, how did this become such its own thing?
It's so so the way that, 3 points. I'm going to dial it back to where you started with. Okay, so there are 2 things that you reminded me of. And a company that I previously worked for was one of the managers always said to us, and I love it. It's the best line, and you just said it. Like, don't come to the table with a problem unless you have a solution to offer. That's one. And you said that. I think that's awesome. Don't complain about something unless you have a plan to fix it. Number 2 is also going back to one of your points. Hi, Kitten.
He needs to be in the show. This is actual.
I think a lot of the issue with what you were saying about like, I just don't care and I don't know how to say it is anytime it's been you or me that do bring a possible solution, like you said, they shit all over it. What our problem was, there's always too many hands in the freaking pot. Yeah. And so like you can't even write a letter to someone without 5 different people having to look over it first. Yeah. Like, just send the goddamn email. I don't need 5 people reading it. And then the third point that you just brought up just slipped out of my brain. What were you just talking about?
I was talking about like
HR and reviews. So I cannot stand how reviews are now, because now our boss actually tells us, make sure that you enter these things on your review that you're going to accomplish. Click this on the drop down. This is your goal, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't even get to say what my actual goals are anymore, because now it's
prescribed. It's
a task. For you. It's a task that just has to be done by a deadline. So there is no honesty to it. It's kind of like the Gallup poll. Like, just do it because we have to. Like, you don't actually have anywhere where you can put comments about the things that actually matter to you. You just have to choose from 5 answers. And if they don't apply, it's like, what? You still have to pick one? Like, this is
God, that's the worst. Or
it's so dumb.
When they want, well, give me one good thing you did and one bad thing. And I'm like,
right.
Well, I don't fucking know. If I did one shitty thing, shouldn't you know about it already and have told me about it? And if you didn't tell me about it, then that's on you. Like, why am I doing your job?
It's over the top anymore because everybody's so butthurt to make anybody feel excluded or
oh God.
What's the word? Offended or race or gender, or it's all these bullshit things. And at the same time, they're trying to make it less abrasive for people. They're taking away honesty about anything.
Well, that's such a great point. Like, because you always hear about, well, it feeds into a lot of our company of, we want people to be authentic. And I'm like, there is no atmosphere right now that anybody feels comfortable being authentic. No. Do you really want people to be authentic? Do you understand what that means? Do you understand what that means? Because if you're going to ask people to be authentic, you're going to ask people to be honest. And if you're going to ask people to be honest, that means you are going to get some answers that you don't like, that a lot of people don't like. And to your point, now there's going to be this whole group that's offended, and we're going to whine and cry about it instead of just being like, you know what? I disagree with that. However, I'm not physically hurt by it. And no, you're not emotionally hurt either. That's your fucking brain on drugs telling you are.
Right. And the other thing is, if you send an email to HR anymore, because I've done this in the past and quite recently, I've sent an email to HR about something that wasn't addressed. That I was like, can you please explain this a little bit better? After this meeting that we had, I'm just curious and blah, blah, blah. And the response that I got back was, we can talk about that next time in the meeting. That's not why I'm not emailing you because I want to talk to you about it in front of everybody else. I'm telling you, I didn't agree with it. I don't like it. So give me an explanation. You're HR. Isn't that your job? And then it just seemed like it was like above her. And she was just like, no, we can talk about it next time.
It amazes me because now I'm on the receiving side of the HR inbox. So I see a lot of things that come in, some of which I take over and manage the response to, because it does kind of fall within my realm, especially with the financial side. But there's things that will come in that need clarity on a policy, and I'll go to our handbook and I'm like, you know what, this isn't very clear. I could see how you take things 5 different ways, and you could be right. However, the person, sorry, my screen is like, because Axel was all
that's fine.
But it's like, okay, well, how I interpret that may not be how the powers that be interpret it. And who's going to win out on that one? Sure shit ain't going to be me. And
the policies were built for those employees, and if those employees can't understand it, they can't follow it.
Well, and I think the policies have gotten too generic to quote cover things, instead of having, again, an honest, authentic conversation of like, look, our policy, our handbook tries to cover majority of the situations that you're going to run into. There are always going to be one-offs. There are always going to be situations that collectively have to be managed at that specific level. And it may take us a while because there's a lot of things that go into it. And a lot of HR is liability and legality for the company. It's not really for the employees. It's for the company.
To protect their ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, and it really...
HR used to be kind of like, you went in, it was kind of like almost seeing a therapist. If something happened at work,
Yeah.
You walk in, you talk to the person, they kind of let you know what the policy is and what they can do to help resolve it. And then
Yes.
that's the end of it. Now it's like you can't talk to anybody because nobody wants to talk about anything. They'll just give you a policy. Here you go. Read this. We
Or
covered that in the
right.
town hall meeting.
Or right, like, okay, yeah, great. And
the Gallup poll shows we're doing great. Oh, really? Okay.
Perfect. It's all done. Thanks for coming, kids. It's all figured
now
out.
leave me alone until next year.
Right.
That's how HR is now.
That, or it's, well, I've got to check with so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. To your point, it goes through 5 people before it comes back to you.
Too many hands in the damn pot.
And then by the time it gets back to you, it's like pretty much
so convoluted that you're like, I don't even remember complaining about that because it was 5 months ago.
Like either when it comes back,
I've gotten over it. I went and saw a therapist.
Right, exactly.
Do you want to pay that bill?
Right. I ended up doing X, Y, and Z, and nobody said anything about it. So
exactly,
I guess it's okay.
I was on my own. Hey, it's fine.
Or it comes back and it's like, that's not what I asked about. That doesn't help anything to help define it. Or it's just like, it sounds like you're just as confused as I am. So we got a problem. What are we going
And then you start the whole process over again.
When
you clarify, oh no, it was about this, not this part that you pulled from what I said.
And a lot of people don't do that. Like even myself included, I'm like, oh, fuck it. I'm not going to ask again. If I had to go through all of this to get 50% answered and the other
I don't talk to HR
that I need, I'm like, no, never mind.
It's a waste of time. I'll figure it out myself.
I don't understand why people want to go into HR.
Because it used to be like we just said, like it was kind of like a therapist, and you want to help, you want to make it a great place to work.
Yeah.
You want people to like each other, you want them to be honest, you want to have fun. You don't want the workday to be a shit show. The problem is now, like we were saying, it's so convoluted and like programmed that it's not even worth it. Like, I don't know why anybody would go into HR now because you don't even get to be HR. You're just reading from a script and giving policies out and being like, here you go. Sorry that somebody called you a racist term. This is the policy. This is it.
Right. Yeah, because I remember when we first came out, and look, we've talked about this before, there's evolution that always needs to happen. But the major things that HR would deal with that were like really big things, right, was sexual harassment.
Right.
Or somebody was hurt on the job, or they became incredibly ill. And what are we going to do about their tasks? Can they stay on? What's the deal there? Like that was kind of like the 2 big things, right? Mm-hmm. Now I feel, and I think it's partially the employees too, is everything's a big deal. Well, if everything's a big deal, then nothing's a
nothing
big deal.
Right.
It's just that's the way, it's all up here. And then I think too, people are emboldened to ask a question that is really fucking dumb. Right. And half of the time my response wants to be, this question is fucking retarded. You just wasted 5 minutes of my time. I should bill you personally for being a fucktwat, but I can't. I'm going to have to put a smile on my face and ask like I give a shit about this fucking question when it didn't need to be asked. Is it burning a hole in your fucking backside? No, it's not. You just want to be heard. You want to be seen. And this is the method in which you're trying to be seen and be heard and be loved and be felt. Don't care.
This is the whole world right now.
It seems like
everybody has something to bitch about. And it's like, really? Because I'm pretty sure, like, I got spankings growing up, and I'm telling you, some kids could use some spankings these days.
Some adults could use a spanking.
Entitled, yes. Like, I'm not saying beat your kids. No, I don't think that's right. But you know what? Like, sometimes if you cuss your mom out, you might need a smack across the face. But
because it makes you think twice about it. You may still do it. Do it. But we thought twice about it. Because my brothers and I laugh with my mom. Because she was 5'3", but she was spicy. She put the fucking hurt on you, right?
Yes, mine did too. Like, you did not speak that way. Respect is missing.
Now. Yes. Respect, but then also just a point too of your level of importance in the world, like you really need to understand that you're not that important. We are
Right.
all not that important. Like we are all
No.
replaceable at
Right.
some level. It may hurt if
Right.
some of us step away. It's going to feel pain. However, it's going to be resolved. Somebody else will come in and take
Right.
over. And I
And
don't
it's
think
not
I
never
like
that
that.
big of a damn deal either.
No,
I
it's
remember when this
not.
all started. You know what it was? It was when they took Porky Pig out of the end on the Saturday cartoons because he had a stutter, because it offended
Oh.
someone. And I was like, what? And then it just snowballed. Now, like, they have to remove everything from everything because it offends everybody.
Which
And
is
it's like, get the fuck
hilarious.
over it.
Which
Like,
is
what was
hilarious.
the cat or the skunk that Pepe Le Pew? They had to stop playing his cartoons because
Why?
it was sexual harassment. Because he was trying to always make out with that other one, and people just thought that was too aggressive. Like, come on, it's a cartoon.
It's a cartoon. Do you really think a 5-year-old is like, excuse me, I have a problem with
Right.
this? And the whole
Like,
stuttering.
I feel offended.
I feel offended.
No, it's just for fun.
The whole Porky Pig thing too, you'd think that they'd want that because it's being inclusive.
Representative.
Representation. Like, again,
that's
it's
what I
okay,
meant.
what do you want?
Right.
What do you want?
Be careful what you ask for. We
Yeah.
talked about this on the last several episodes about gay people wanted to be included everywhere, and then the gay bars are gone, and now they miss it. We miss it, but the point.
Oh yeah, because we talked
you want
about
to be
that.
included and inclusive and all this, but then when it happens, you want it gone because it may offend somebody. Like,
well,
pick a side.
Because we were talking when we met up for lunch when you guys came through Indy last weekend, and I forget which podcast or what I was listening to that had made mention, and I have not validated these nut numbers. So, but whoever it was had mentioned like 20 years ago, or at least 20, could be 30, 90s to 2000s, really before the Supreme Court weighed in and said that same-sex marriage is legal. You can do it.
Right.
There was 100 lesbian bars throughout the country, which that number shocked me. Anyhow, I thought, really? Like, are you sure it's not 1,000? Like,
right.
Are you sure? Because I just think back to, we had Talbot Street. We had, I think there was a place called the Cabaret. There might have been another place called the Unicorn. Then there was the Metro. There was the 10. There was Zonies here.
And remember, to Jason's point, he said, if they're speaking specifically of lesbian bars, that number makes sense.
Yes.
Because you can't lump in gay bars with lesbian bars because some are very specific. Uncle E's. That was a lesbian bar.
Yes.
The 10 was specifically a lesbian bar.
So
that does make sense.
Once he said that, because in my mind I was like, really? Because I was going through
bar,
all these gay bars.
Right.
But now there's like, the last time, maybe within the last couple of years, it's now decreased to 30.
Yeah.
30, less than one per state. And I'm like,
most of ours have closed.
Yeah, or they've completely changed to just your regular neighborhood.
A regular bar, yeah.
But there was
many of them aren't even considered gay bars anymore. They're just the general public.
Yeah, and there was a whole vibe with the gay bars because you knew whether if you identified as gay or if you were, I don't like the term ally. I've never liked that term. It's just a friend. You're a fucking friend that loves somebody for who they are.
Ally is kind of stupid. Like, you're not fighting for me.
Right.
My friend.
I'm your friend. I'm there to support you and stand by you. And so for somebody like, we always went to bowls down in Bloomington during college. And I mean, it was mostly gay men. I mean, you could probably count on your hand how many women were there.
Never lesbians. They were always the fruit flies.
It was, the fruit flies. There was a couple of lesbians that would come in. There was one, and I forget her name because she ended up doing the, I don't think she was a drag king, but I think she did shows, like a show here or there, but I don't think she
was she
did
a
it
DJ?
on the regular. No,
because that was Stephanie.
No, I remember Steph. It was not her.
Yeah.
It was somebody else,
Okay.
and I forget her name. But
Yeah.
in any event, yeah, but it was just like when you went there, there was just like everybody loved each other. Everybody was
Yeah.
there because we wanted to have fun. We wanted to dance.
Right.
Like
We
there
didn't
was a
walk around with
certain
labels.
mindset. Yeah, we didn't
Yeah.
care. We were there to
Nobody
drink,
asked, are you
dance.
gay? Are you lesbian? It didn't freaking matter. Like you
Nobody.
and the twins were always there with me. They never asked if they
I-
were lesbian because it didn't freaking matter.
yeah,
Plus,
it
they
nobody
just
nobody
probably
cared.
assumed you were a fruit fly.
Right, exactly. But it's just so funny how back then nobody asked because it didn't
Yeah.
matter. And now all of a sudden it has to be part
It
of your
matters.
identity.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I know.
why?
Like, am I
Why?
supposed to walk around with like a label on myself?
Yeah,
Like,
because you
weird.
want me to check off some dumbass box
Right.
on an application.
Right. Well,
Like,
and like, I don't know if you saw my post where it was like, well, several, where it was like June 30th to July 1st. And like, one's like all these companies put rainbows.
oh fuck
Then
yeah.
July 1st, boom,
Woo!
done.
Back to normal.
Like,
Back
thanks
to
for
normal.
your
This is
monthly support. Yeah.
support. Yeah.
For
Well,
1
and
month a year.
too, they started doing that. Well, I think we talked about this too, was it was after the Supreme Court decision. It was after the fight had been done that all these fucking corporate asshats came out and got on board.
Right.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
geez, how fucking great are you when you come in after the fact? When the real
Right.
fight is done, then you
On the
assholes wanna
curtail, yeah.
piggyback on. Yeah, you want to ride somebody's coattails because you're gonna because it's all about the money. It has nothing to do with actual support. So fuck off.
No.
And then the parades, it's all corporatized parades too. It's like every
Yeah.
single fucking big business here in
Is
Indianapolis
now in
now has
floats.
a goddamn oh no, we do
Yeah.
not call it floats. It is a fucking F-150 with a goddamn banner stuck to the
Oh,
side of it.
yeah.
We don't build floats anymore. That's
Right.
too much.
Yeah.
Really, you got lesbians that have power tools and you got the gay guys and you can't come up with a decent fucking float for this thing?
Remember they used to be so extravagant with like all
Oh,
the weird
they-
shit around the
they'd be
sides and
Fun. They'd be
like
fun.
ladders and
Oh
a
my
huge rainbow of balloons and dancing.
So much fun. And the people that built them took so much pride in them.
Was them.
Yeah, because it was
Yeah.
them. And
Yeah.
the other part to the companies, the businesses that were outward supporting at that time, that was a huge deal. They could have
Yeah.
been canceled. They could have been, that could have destroyed everything. But these were, and they were small mom and pop shops. Like these are places that could not have weathered the storm.
Right.
Had a larger group of the population turned away. Now, I will probably say most of them serve the vast majority of the gay community to begin with. So
Right. Yeah.
any lost business probably would have been somebody that, I don't know, probably would have been deaf, dumb, and blind that they didn't support the gay community to start with.
Right. That's
well,
they're sinking their own ship when they don't.
Right. So I just think it's such a farce anymore. I think a lot of probably our generation and older, from what I'm seeing across social media and across interviews and different podcast clips, like on the YouTube shorts, like they're getting angry about it because there are people, because now it's turned into like a fetish show. Whips and change and these weird fucking things
and also,
in the middle of the day, and it's just like
why is it like okay that like every Tom, Dick, and Harry now, not pun intended, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But why is everybody out there saying I'm gender neutral and non-binary and all this stuff, but they like completely dress in like a dress with their boobs hanging out and like the big they're just being
because it's attention. It's attention.
Everybody can just claim it now and everybody has to respect it. And it's like, no, if you're really that person struggling with it, you wouldn't be going out in full ass makeup and a dress and say, I'm non-binary. Like, what? You're clearly, you like being a sexy woman. Like, who is the one that just like recently did it? The singer. Who like she's like a beautiful woman, but she's like, I'm non-binary, I'm gender neutral. But what?
Was it Selena Gomez?
No, it's the other one that was kind of popular, like in the same kind of genre as Christina Aguilera, but she's got black hair, really pretty. I can't think of her name right now, but those people get on my nerves because and there was just an episode I was watching on Will and Grace on the newest one, when they came back. And it's a dude like complete with a beard and like looking sexy in his man clothes and whatever. And the whole point of the episode is because Grace is ordering a MAGA cake, but the cake store doesn't want to make it because they don't support that and whatever. And Grace is like, I don't like it either, but I think you still need to do it. And so a guy walks up that works there, and he's, like I said, burly, handsome dude, whatever. And she goes, you're a white dude. You have no say in this. Because, she's a redhead Jewish. Anyway. Right. And he goes, I'm transgender. Even though he's clearly not.
Right.
He's just a man. But claiming that title. And she goes, okay. Well, I wouldn't have noticed that. And then she goes, you're still white, so sit down. But like the point is that's exactly what I'm talking about. Everybody is just claiming these titles and these labels now because it gets them attention. Oh, yeah. Like you're not actually going, and I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of these people claiming the attention are just claiming these labels are doing it only for the attention, because later they'll be like, oh, never mind. I'm fine. I was just saying that. Like, are you fucking serious?
Because my question back to them is then what, like, if that is the only thing about you that you want to put a megaphone on, like, you need to do some deeper soul searching, because I'm a woman. Yes. Okay. I identify as a woman, but that has no bearing on really anything else that I do in my life.
Right.
About me. Like,
right.
Nor do I want it to be. Like this is a characteristic about myself that I didn't choose.
Right.
Like, that's just DNA and biology.
Well,
now,
and my age and before, like, most of the time you were like not necessarily ashamed, but scared to say you were gay.
Yes.
Like, it's not something that you wanted to really broadcast. And now it seems like it's switched to where people are like, that's the only thing interesting about them that they want to talk about. Like, that doesn't make you unique.
That's boring. It's really boring if you think that that's the only thing, because I don't care who you sleep with behind closed doors. Like, I don't care. That's not why I'm friends with you. We're friends because we always have RBF, and we're good with that. And we scare people. We're like, it's okay. But it's like, we still have a great time together. We laugh, but nothing about our sexuality ever comes up in a conversation.
No.
And that's why I'm just so like, I don't understand why this is such a big deal about it. And I think maybe part of it too is the social media thing, because you can just get instant thumbs up, loves, likes. And whereas 20 years ago for us, like, as you said, most people were afraid because it wasn't cool. Okay. Right. It wasn't getting you the little heart emoji and that you go girl, good job. Right. It wasn't the instant gratification of quote support. And, I look back, and I'm not saying we're better than anybody else, but being friends with a gay person, or like, some of my family members did not understand it. I was like, you don't have to. They are my friends. These are people that are there for me when I need them. And doesn't that count? Isn't that what's important? Not that he sleeps with other dudes. Like, what the fuck does that have to matter?
Like, who cares? Right.
Who cares? And I know for a while there were a couple of my family members that just didn't get it. And I was like, look, you don't have to agree with it. That's perfectly fine. It doesn't really bother me one way or another, but this is my friend. So if you don't like it, then just don't talk about it. We don't have to have a conversation about it.
Exactly.
Just know that we don't agree. But that's like one sliver of our lives. So let's move the fuck on.
That segues into everything right now. Politics, religion. Like, you can believe what you want. That doesn't mean we have to hate each other.
Right. You can be totally, and it's funny too, because I think people want to deny it, is even if you're a Republican and somebody else is a Democrat, you actually probably have far much more in common than
Then
are
you know.
different.
Yeah.
And you
I
just
agree.
flat out refuse that because you have chosen fucking
A label.
a hill to die on.
Yeah.
To die
A
on.
label.
A label.
That's all it
and
is.
That's your identity. And now you
Yeah.
have staked so much onto that it is scary as fuck to move away from that and say,
Yes.
you know what, maybe I'm not as passionate about this particular issue. Well, fuck,
Right.
I've said and blurted this out and made posts about it and been hard, steadfast in it for 5 years. What does that mean for me? Who am I? Like, I get it. It's scary, but don't just double down on it because you're too scared to reach across the aisle and just be friends with somebody. Because I guarantee you, in a moment's notice, when you're in severe need, that person that you feel that you are so different from, they're going to be there to rescue you and pull you out of a fire.
Or God forbid, one of your kids ends up needing an abortion, or one of your kids ends up being gay, or any of those issues that like somebody's dead set on. Once it affects you personally, I guarantee your mind changes.
Oh, completely. And even
my dad hated gay people.
Yeah.
And then now he loves me. He's fine with it. It took some teaching and learning through the years of just knowing it's not going away.
Is hard. Changing is hard. It's not easy.
But it's I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, once it affects you personally, whatever the case may be, not just with gay people, not with just abortion, just any issue that you're one way on, as soon as it hits you, cancer, like, you may not want to like support drugs that go out to cancer or whatever, like donations, the money given to this idea, or other health issues, like autistic. You may not want that. You may not want it. You're like, that's a waste of money. And then one time there's going to be that person you meet or will be part of your family. And then you will be like, it does matter.
It does matter. It does make a difference. And that's okay. Yeah. That's okay. We're meant to change.
That's part of learning.
Just because we, hone in on something at 22. I mean, we've said this all the time. 20 years ago, I am not the same person I was 20 years ago. Not even close.
No way.
You wouldn't even believe that person.
Right.
There's just no way.
Want to go dancing on a dance floor at a gay bar now?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
No. I want to sit somewhere silent and quiet and watch a movie.
Watch a movie or sit out on somebody's back porch on a deck.
I'm a completely different person. Yeah. Like, and I think we've discussed this also, because I have friends that are like, you've changed. Are you okay? You don't seem like you're okay because you don't go out and do things much anymore. And I'm like, that's because I've changed. I like what I'm doing now because I'm not trying to impress you or that person or that person.
I'm just making sure I'm happy.
Zero fucks about what. If I want to sit on my ass in my apartment and watch movies and clean and cook and whatever, and I don't want to be around people, that's not your business. I'm fine. Mentally, I'm happier than I've ever been. But like, I swear, I hear it from a specific person all the time. I'm not going to mention her name, but all the time. She's always like, you seemed a lot happier. You used to go out and dance and party and stuff. Like, I don't need that though. I don't need that anymore. I needed that.
I was just going to say,
validate myself.
I was just going to say that. I was like, that probably really wasn't you to start with. That was something you felt like you needed to get that feeling of validation. And now it's an internal validation barometer.
COVID taught me that.
Yeah.
COVID made me pay attention to me.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't go do things. So I had to actually be in my own mind and listen to my thoughts and figure out what actually makes me happy. Yeah. And it was rough there for a while. And then once I figured out what makes me happy, now I'll go out when I want to instead of when I'm expected to. That doesn't mean I'm going out every weekend.
Right.
It doesn't mean it may be a month before I go out. That's the ratio that I like now.
So the funny thing is that you just said that is, I got my hair done yesterday, and
it's fabulous.
And normally that would be like, oh my God, I look great. I feel great. Let's go out. Let's have a good time out. Right. And that it didn't even hit me until like 9:30 last night when I was laying back in bed because I just I was tired. B, nothing on that I wanted to watch. And I was just like, I just want to lay here in silence.
Yeah.
Like the light was still on, but I just wanted to lay there in silence.
Isn't it nice?
And as I did, I was looking up at the ceiling and I thought, you know something, 20 years ago, I would have been stoked to have my hair done, to feel awesome, to look awesome. And I'd be out right now somewhere at a bar, just had dinner, drinking. And I'm just like, that is so crazy how things change so drastically. But I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything.
Right.
Really. I think there was a little bit of me that thought, you know, I don't go out as much and I don't get to meet people as much as I did. And I do miss that because I don't have a lot of friends here. Like that's the other thing that kind of popped into my head this week. I'm like, I really wish I could just pick up the phone sometimes and just, you know, who am I going to call? You to be one. But then I know like sometimes at night, I know Jason is home and I want to give you guys your time. But it's, but, you know, then I stop and I think I'm like, well, fuck me. I don't really have anybody else to call. And I'm just like, you know, I used to have a plethora of people. Now, with that being said, how many of those were really your friends versus just a placeholder at the time, a friend for that time of your life, which is fine.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
But, you know, a true friend that, you know, like we are 20 plus years later, still talking to each other, cracking each other up.
Right.
Solving the world's problems, by the way. This is the place to be.
One viewer at a time. One.
And really, really one. Only one. We are here. We need you. You have got to spread the word. Clearly we can't. We got
I wanted to start the show today and I thought about it when I was sitting on the toilet peeing. Yes.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So I was sitting, I don't know why I'm messing with this. I was sitting there thinking and I was like, you know what? I should invite our guests like they do on SmartList and be like, today's guest is me. That's it. It's just us. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to We Don't Know Things. And our guest today is Amanda and myself. You're welcome.
We're back again, folks. We're back, folks. We're back. That's hilarious.
Strap your boots on for an hour because it's about to get down and dirty.
Grab a helmet. You may need it.
You may need it with us. True. Very true.
God, no.
But we always, I didn't know what we were going to talk about. And I was like,
I know, same here.
We'll figure it out. We always do.
Usually do. And we're, you know, 53 minutes
we're
now?
Already at, yeah.
I know. And it's just,
because it's so natural.
It is.
We have a lot to say.
And I think we always do. And it's
we're healing the world.
This is life-changing shit.
But it is.
You know, I just think it's things that right now, culturally, we are just so fucking afraid to have honest conversation. Bringing the whole loop back around to the beginning of this episode of just being authentic. Quote, I don't really like using that word because I think it's been fucked out and it bothers me.
Oh yeah.
Because I think people use
authentic
it as like, well, I'm being authentic. Well, that doesn't mean you're a fucking cunt or an asshole about it. Shut up, sit down. Okay.
You're about as authentic as a piece of paper.
You're going to be authentic cunt.
Processed.
Like, no. Yeah. Like, sit down, shut up. You need to be respectfully honest. That's what I'm coining it now, is you're being respectfully honest. That means that you are addressing the person or people in which you are having conversation with. You have an idea of what may, quote, trigger them. And you start to develop a way in which and craft the message, craft the narrative that you know is going to be received at the best way it possibly can, because some people are just going to be triggered because they love being offended. They love living in that space. And you know what? Yep. I don't give any time to that anymore. No. Like, you have a mental problem. Like, you legit have a mental problem at this point in time. And it is for you to figure it out. It is not for me to cater to. End of story. I'm not going to sit here and through the fucking tulips, walk on eggshells, because you're going to get mad over some random bullshit word that you feel holds so much power, and it doesn't.
Exactly.
I'm not going to do it anymore. And
I'm so like I think for like the past probably 5 to 10 years, I've been brutally honest with everyone, even my family, and like everybody knows that I don't like kids. I don't want to be around them. I don't want to play with them, and it's not that I don't appreciate them from my family. Like they all have kids, but they just know I don't like them. And there were like so many times over this past trip to Evansville that kids came near me, and I was just honest. I was like, somebody get the kid away from me. They wanted to play with me. And every time I was like, nope, no, I didn't. Whoever kid this, get it away. And
It's
I'm
kind
just
of
like
like
that now. I'm that bitchy man that's like, because I don't want to. I don't want to freaking pretend. You know me. I'm a nice guy. I just don't want your kids all over me. I don't
yeah,
want to play with them.
and
Somebody
there's
else here can do it.
right, and there's and I know you're you are speaking the truth, and you are I don't know exactly how you handled it, but there are times where
Just
I'm
like
just
that.
like, oh really? Oh
Yes.
wow, that
Although
is
it was brutal. It was. I
yeah.
would say it out loud. Somebody get your kid right now. Get it away from me. That's what I would say out loud. And they would. They would.
Oh my god. I mean, I
Yeah.
get if that's something that's been settled on in your family as the way of communication, that
Oh,
is
they
really
probably don't
fine.
like
Yeah.
it, but I don't give.
Yeah.
I have,
No.
like I said, zero fucks to give.
Yeah. I
I'm just
mean,
not doing. I'm not going to pretend that I like playing with your kid. I don't like
yeah,
it.
and there's certain ways that I'll say things as well that, I'm just like, I sorry, I need some assistance here if you can move
You're a
this
lot nicer
along.
than I am.
I am. I am. I'm just like, can you collect and
Collect
let's
this
move
human.
along. I just need some help here.
Right.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
No,
I'm
not
good
gonna
right now, but it may change in a minute, and I cannot promise that no one will
that they
get
will
hurt.
survive.
Yeah. And you know what?
Right.
Like kids kind of remind me of cats, right? Cats will hone in on the person in the room
That
that hates
doesn't like
fucking
them.
cats. And those are
Jason even
kids.
told me that. He goes, "Why do they always want to play with you?" I'm like, I don't know. I'm like the meanest person of them.
Probably because it's intriguing. It's like, how can this
They're
person
trying to get through that layer of protection I have.
Yeah.
They're trying to pierce through and make me smile, and I just won't do it.
Yeah, you're like, no.
I'm
I-
like,
it's-
you're gonna make me want to drown you. So I'm trying to be safe for you, so you don't lose your life today.
Oh my god, that's funny. Like kids don't bother me. I really wish I would have had children of my own. I just
Ugh.
never had the opportunity to
Wasted
connect
time
with
and money.
somebody.
If you, no,
But,
I
I
like
mean,
to have my money for things I want.
Yeah. And that's totally fine. That's, everybody's decision in life to make. But yeah, no, the whole thing with going back to, I don't like the word authentic anymore. I just
Right.
think it's been fucked out. I think people
Yeah.
have just bastardized it and misused it to support their own agendas. And I just think it's, you can be respectfully honest. And
Mhm.
that means you don't have to be a complete and utter bastard in how you make a delivery. Unless
Yeah.
you're you and there are kids involved. I think that might be the only
Complete
exception.
bastard.
Yeah.
It's true.
Uncle
I think we should
Bastard.
probably name this episode "Respectfully Honest Bastards."
Yes. Yeah. There you go. Respectfully honest bastards. Oh my god.
Oh,
Well, and
gosh.
you need to
Well,
put,
we're right at it.
yeah, you need to put respectfully like in quotes.
Right.
Because I think with me it rings true. With you, I don't think it's applicable 100% of the time, especially if children are involved. Now it's just honest. Now it's just it's
bastard stands.
yeah, it's a bastardly honest comment at that point. If kids are involved, fucking step back. Fireworks
Yeah.
are about ready to go off with
The word
Nathan.
respectfully just disappeared.
It just went out the door. It was like, get this tiny thing away from me. I can't deal with it. If
At
there
one
is
point, I
intensity
think
that
it was
shit in your
I-
pants, like
somebody
I
in my
can't.
family. Somebody in my family, my cousin, I think, because we were both talking about kids, and I can't stand him. He goes, "If one drowns, they can make a new one." And like just terrible comments.
But that, okay, again, hilarious joke. If you find it offensive, that's you finding offensive. It's not
That's
that
your
the joke's
problem,
offensive.
not mine.
Let's all-
And I'm
let's
not going
all
to
get over it.
change. You
Yep.
don't have to watch this.
Yeah,
The
respectfully
one
honest,
viewer.
Nate's not going to change.
No. It's true. I'm 44 years old. It's not happening. I've changed all that I need to.
The only time that you're going to change is if you get a head injury.
True.
Like,
True.
If you, if you take a tire to the head or something like that,
I barely
something
changed
may
my
scramble
underwear,
up.
so
It's like,
not
no.
happening.
All
Oh my
right.
gosh, it's been so much fun. I
As
love you to
usual.
death. You look
I love you
fabulous.
too. Thank
Get
you.
out
You
there
do
and
too.
do something with that hair.
Really.
And I don't know. What'd you say?
I said you said you look gorgeous, and I'm like, you do too. No, not really.
No. Nope. This is
No.
called wettened hair from
Wettened
bedhead.
hair.
Wettened.
From bedhead.
Is that a word? Wetted.
I don't
Both sound weird.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
It's a spritzed hair look.
Spritzed. Ugh.
Spritz.
All right.
All
2
right.
weeks.
I love your face.
Ladies and gentlemen, in 2 weeks, we'll be back.
We'll be back.
Oh, by
Thank
the way, KP was excited that we're doing an episode. And he goes, it's about time. I go, it's every 2 weeks. Duh.
God damn it, Casey.
He's like, oh, I didn't know that.
You need to put this on your calendar. You know
You're
what?
right.
We need to make stickers of our face and send him a calendar so he can just put our face stickers on it.
Amazing.
So he knows.
That would be because he said I'm all caught up. So
That's our stickers to
that is
KP.
creepy. Oh man, it's creepy. It reminds me of that movie, The Shining, like between the doors.
That's
All right, we gotta go.
Love you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Thank you, Amanda, as always. And
Absolutely.
Amanda Hug and Kiss, or Amanda and Orange, whatever you want to go by. I will talk to you in 2 weeks. I hope you enjoy the
Later.
rest of your Sunday.
It's Saturday, and I will.
Oh my God, it is Saturday.
It's all right.
Respectfully,
Respectfully.
bye.
Bye.